My cat just got put into the emergency animal hospital, and the quote that I got from the emergency hospital just for basic treatment before they even know what's going on with him is $915. And in order to afford my medical care, I need at least another $1,000. I have enough to get the things that I need to done. Yes!
I don't know who needs this reminder, but apparently a lot of y'all do.
Okay, Roger, I don't know where we're going here, but if I know you, nobody needs this reminder.
I am not a man.
Wait, what? You, Roger? The picture of masculinity that I see before me is not, in fact, a man? Okay, girl, but I ain't buying it. I know a man when I see one, and you are an M-A-N man.
I am not assigned male at birth. I am an assigned female at birth, femme, non-binary person.
Okay, but you're gonna have to give me a minute because this is a lot to take in. Femme, non-binary. Assigned female at birth, femme, non-binary. Okay.
If there is a choice between a man and a bear, I'm the one that gets to choose.
Roger, I don't want to seem out of line, but you're coming off a little bit cray-cray right now, and I'm not exactly following.
Also, so it's not a choice. Stop fucking saying, oh my God, I would totally choose the bear over you.
Roger, I don't even know what we're talking about right now, but I would totally choose the bear over you. Actually, I would choose almost any animal over you.
Just because I'm standing up for liberation.
Oh, we're talking about liberation again.
Okay? You don't get to choose between me and the bear.
Okay, Roger, but I already said I am choosing the bear.
Okay? I get to choose between a man and a bear. And if anything, I am the fucking bear that will tear apart the man who hurts you.
Maybe if you had tore apart the man that hurt you, we wouldn't be going through all this right now.
Do you understand me?
No, I really don't understand you.
Like, and the fact that men do not understand why we would choose the bear literally just proves everything. Stop treating me like I'm a man.
But Roger, all this time, I thought you were supposed to be a man. What in the name of Allah is happening right now?
I spent the majority of my life being read and treated as a woman, and I still do.
Well, I don't know why, because we can all clearly see that you're a man. I mean, I know you shaved your face, but let's not start acting brand new, Roger.
So, seriously, stop treating me like a man. Do you understand me? Also, it doesn't even matter what I was assigned at birth, but it does matter how I was socialized as. Honestly, it does matter. And I was socialized as female, okay? I was socialized as a woman, and I hold all of those traits all the way through.
Hold those traits all the way through? Wait a gall darn minute, Roger. Because I seen you with your little chinny whiskers, and that is not holding those traits all the way through. I seen that you cut your boobies off, and that is not holding female traits all the way through. No sir, no ma'am, no turkey, no ham. I hate to say this, but I think you're gaslighting me right now. Roger, you're not turning out to be the man I thought you were, and that's very disappointing.
I will never choose the man.
Not to be rude, Roger, but I don't think there's a lot of men that would choose you at this point either.
Because I will always choose the fucking bear.
Can somebody get this man a bear? Not a beer, a bear. Well, apparently that was the end of that one. Okay, Roger, I know in one of your last videos you said that because you have a meltdown, that doesn't mean you need to be locked up.
Me having a meltdown doesn't mean that I should be locked up.
But I'm beginning to wonder if you need to be locked up. And I also know that you said that our obsession with locking people up was so colonial.
Y'all's obsession with locking people up is so colonial.
But I gotta be honest, Roger, I'm feeling kind of colonial right now. What's up, everybody? Ty Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Before we go any further, I'm just gonna ask, as always, that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment just to help me out on the algorithm, just leave a knife. Because if he finds out I'm doing this video, Roger is gonna come for my neck. All right, so our friend Roger is having another episode, apparently. For anyone that's not familiar, this is a character from TikTok that I named Roger. At first, I didn't really think that this was a serious person. It turned out they were. Apparently, they go by Aslan. I did go on a deep dive, though. He refers to himself as Birdie at certain points, or used to refer to himself as Birdie. He's one of those that's hard to keep up with. And I refuse to refer to her as a she and a her because I think that she's done so much to herself that he's now a he. And I've already said I'm not doing they and them for single people. I don't care how many personalities you have. I'm gonna be honest. I live in a binary world. You are what you're presenting as, and you have your little facial hair, and you've done the little things that you've done. And what I was gonna get to with you guys is I decided to take these videos apart because I think there really is a lesson to be learned. And I do hope that Roger happens upon my videos. If anybody wants, not in a harassing way, but if anybody wants, send him a link maybe, or maybe I'll try to send it to him myself and it'll get through. But I really do want this person to somehow figure it out, because whether or not they realize it, they really are hitting rock bottom. And I'll tell you guys the dynamics of what I think's going on here. I will be fun and sassy, but there is an actual point to me doing this, and I really do hope that in some way this will somehow penetrate and actually get this person to a place where they can do something to at least help themselves out, because they are capable of it. And I know that sometimes I may seem completely negative, but I did scroll back far enough in this person's history on TikTok, and I saw that back when they were creating art, they actually were talented in what they were doing. So I don't know how things have gotten to this place, but somehow they've gotten as bad as they've gotten, and this really shouldn't be a life that anybody wants to live. Like, this is really embarrassing if you ask me. Also, I had a moment where I really felt for Roger, and I'm not even joking with you guys. There have been points where I second guessed and I was like, am I being too hard on Roger? And to tell you the truth, I even thought about sending Roger money. But then I went ahead and looked further into Roger's history. I went on the rabbit hole, right? And apparently this has been Roger's hustle for a good minute now. Like around this time last year, August 9th of 2023, Roger was asking for money to cover medical care for him and his cat.
I found out on Monday that during my evacuation, I actually lost my health insurance, which means I can't pay for any of my medication or any of my medical appointments. And I just found out that I'm allergic to bees and apparently wasps, and I have to get an EpiPen, but I can't afford an EpiPen because it costs $750 without insurance. I also am supposed to see the doctor, the retina specialist, to get scans on my eyeball because there's a nevus, a mole, on the back of my eye that they think might be cancer, but I can't get it scanned to make sure that it's not. I literally can't afford my emergency inhaler, and my cat just got put into the emergency animal hospital because I woke up this morning and he's super lethargic. And the quote that I got from the emergency hospital just for basic treatment before they even know what's going on with him is $915. And in order to afford my medical care, I need at least another $1,000.
And then the next day, on the 10th, he updated and he had a whole bunch of news about the cat. So apparently he had already gotten the $900 to get the cat taken care of and get the cat looked at and get the cat situated.
AJ is doing really well. He got a whole slew of tests done yesterday, and his kidney and his liver test came back really good. I just feel really grateful for the people that are here supporting me.
So he reported on the following day, the 10th, like I said, that he had been able to take care of the cat, and he was overjoyed about that. But then 2 days later, he was back begging again and saying that he didn't have money for himself.
Turns out that I have to see more specialists and I have more appointments, and it's going to cost way more than I originally thought.
And it just seems to be a pattern that he goes through where he keeps asking his followers to send him more and more money. I understand loving your pets, but I don't understand what's making it so Roger hasn't been able to keep a job or take care of himself or his cat for now going on a year. I don't understand that. I'm going to be honest. So what happened was he took a little while off of TikTok, because what he did after the last video that I made a video on, and if you want to see that or anything about the history of Roger, you can check it down below in the description box. I'll include the links to the videos I did before. Was he made everything private, but I think he got tired of not having the engagement. And then somebody was telling me that a friend of his had said that he had left a note saying that he'd be gone for a while and they were worried about him because they hadn't heard from him, which I personally was not worried about Roger because I think he's too much of a narcissist to really do anything to himself, if you know what I mean. So I wasn't worried about him in that way. I thought it was him building up to come back and ask for money again. And then all of a sudden, this video popped up. And this video has the header that says, I need help getting back on my feet. Turned out I was right. So of course, you know what he's doing, but we're going to go ahead and hear him out anyway.
I don't even know how to make this video.
I have faith and I'm sure you'll find a way, Roger.
But I have to start somewhere, so I'm gonna start here. I just got out of the hospital, out of a long hospital stay, for bipolar 2 disorder.
You just got out of the hospital? No, Roger, you gave into colonialism. This is everything we're against, Roger. How could Allah let this happen? Okay, now let me be serious for a second. Roger, I'm glad you went in and got some help. You knew you were having a meltdown and you did what needed to get done. Now what I need you to do is keep with that energy and let's start working on some actual solutions.
For a pretty extreme manic episode, which also involved me getting stalked by a man that I barely know.
Girl, you should have turned into that bear you were talking about and tore him apart.
And so that combination was just really, really bad. And I got scared literally out of my mind. And now I have less than $50 to my name.
Oh, Roger, same old you. I hope you're not going to try to ask for money.
I'm staying with a couple of friends, which is lovely, and I'm so, so grateful for it. And I also don't have a car anymore because my car was towed from out of state because I ended up in a national park with less than a mile of gas left. And that's part of the rules for the lease to own that I was doing, that you can't have your car repossessed out of state, because I couldn't pay for it because I was in the hospital and didn't have any money. So it's been a bit like dominoes. I'm laughing not because it's funny, but because it's just, this is just, life is really wild.
But life doesn't have to be wild, to tell you the truth. What's happening is you're spinning out of control because you don't want to course correct and you're running out of options. Even the people that were supporting you a year ago are tired of you. Spoiler alert, I'm going to let you guys know I read the comments to this video and there are a bunch of people sending him prayers to get a job. Not everybody wants to continue working so that you can live this life of figuring out who you are and making these TikTok videos. I mean, at least monetize what it is you're doing and make money off of that. Nobody wants to work to support you, Roger. The internet can be very cool and the internet will be very sympathetic to a point. But then when people start to feel like they're being had, they will put their foot down. And that's what's happening with you right now is people are putting their foot down and they don't want to give you any more money. So it's not that life is wild. It's that what you're requesting of life is wild.
Life is really wild. And, I need help.
Don't you kind of always need help, though? Because that seems to be your MO. Like I said, I've done a deep dive of your stuff, Roger, and you're always asking for money. There was a point when your car got stolen and you needed help then. I mean, it's always something with you. It's like you think the internet is your sugar daddy.
Yeah, I need help getting back on my feet. I want to say, like, you know, can you please buy from my shop? And also, I honestly don't know when I'm actually going to be able to get stuff to people. Will it get to you? Yes. Do I know when? No.
I have watched enough Shark Tank to know that this is not the kind of business that I should support. And for that reason, I'm out.
And I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I would love if you could check out my shop. The orders are not going to be done by August 1st, obviously, because it's past August 1st. But I will be working as soon as I can.
You already told us a couple videos ago that your arms ain't working.
I don't even have one fully functioning arm at this point.
So as soon as I can means nothing coming from you, Roger.
I'm just really trying to take it one step at a time, like Jordan Sparks.
I'm beginning to feel like you need a little more time in that institution.
Yeah. So I'm doing a big old call. I'm not making a GoFundMe because I don't know how much I need, and I don't really have the capacity to, and I don't really know exactly I don't know, it doesn't really feel like the right thing. I just need mutual aid, honestly.
Mutual aid. That's an interesting way to put it. I wonder what mutual aid is. Mutual aid is an organizational model where voluntary collaborative exchanges of resources and services for common benefit take place amongst community members to overcome social, economic, and political barriers to meeting common needs. Okay, I don't think it's mutual aid you need here, Roger. I'm not trying to be a stickler, and I'm definitely not actually, but I am gonna actually, because collaborative exchanges, what is it we're exchanging? Because it doesn't seem like you're offering something. Like, you have to be offering something in return for it to be an exchange. Also, to overcome social, economic, and political barriers to meeting common needs. What about taking care of you is common needs? This doesn't help the collective in any way, which is what you're trying to insinuate, is that helping you is somehow helping the collective. And it's not even like watching your videos is particularly uplifting or there's any kind of real message there. It's just a lot of you complaining about people and saying that certain groups of people aren't valid. Like, you went on a whole thing about white cisgender women, his words, not mine, but that's the way he phrased it, and how nobody needs them. And also, when I was looking in your comments, I saw there were a lot of women that were like, I'm a white cisgender woman and I'm wishing you the best because nobody needs my help. So you've already burnt a big part of the population just in you trying to be rude or trying to enforce your values on everybody else. And now your community doesn't even want to help you. There are very few people on your TikTok that I saw in any way being supportive. It was just people making fun of you, which I know that I should feel bad about that, but because I've seen that this is just your history, I can't feel bad for you. And the fact that you're trying to make it seem like this is just you coming to terms with the fact that you're gonna have to ask for help when you've been asking for help for at least the last year. So this isn't like you swallowing your pride and finally admitting that you need financial help and this has taken a lot. This is your pattern. You act every time like you're ashamed of it.
And I know I don't need to be embarrassed that I can't afford medical care, but like, it does feel embarrassing.
Or you can't believe you're having to do it, but you're always doing it. So at some point, just grab a cup and go stand by the side of the freeway, because you're begging is what you're doing. You are being a beggar. Stop trying to call it cute things like mutual aid or support from your community. That's not what it is. You're begging, Roger. And while the internet can be generous, nobody wants to help an outright beggar.
There's not like an exact number or anything. I just need help.
Okay, I know this hustle, Roger. I've seen people do this one before. They don't put up a GoFundMe. They just ask people to send them money. That way, people can't see the amount of balls they have in what they're asking for. Like, let's say that you ask for $10,000. People won't know that it's $10,000 that you're trying to get off of people. And also, if people don't know the number and people don't see the GoFundMe happen, the next time you're asking for money, people can't be like, well, we already raised $10,000 for you the last time you needed money. So how is it you've run through the entire $10,000 that we already gave you the last time and now you're back asking for money again? What I would recommend, Roger, and I'm being 100% serious, is that you take up choreography and you make money off of TikTok like everybody else does. It's known for people just doing funny dances, and those people turn into influencers, and that's the way it usually works. You've already got a good following. I want to say it's like 80,000 people you have following you. Who cares what reason they're following you for? Maybe if you do some dances and make them feel good, they're gonna like you and send you some money. It'll be so out of character they won't even see it coming. That's your new plan. Put together some choreography. I know your arms aren't working. There ain't nothing wrong with your legs, Roger. I need you to remember that the app you're always posting on is called TikTok. It's not called Piggy Bank. I'm gonna need you to focus, Roger.
And really, any bit helps. So, I'm here. I'm also not on ADHD medication anymore.
Okay, still not on ADHD medication. Once again, focus is not on the menu. Scratch the focus.
Because apparently that makes bipolar worse.
Now, this really bothers me because I have friends that deal with bipolar. I have friends that deal with severe bipolar, and they are holding down jobs and taking care of themselves and taking their meds. Once in a while, they'll have an episode that does land them in needing to get actual help and could be maybe institutionalized for a minute, and they take care of that too. That's what they have to do. I respect it. I'm not at all here to mental health shame anybody when it comes down to people that are seriously trying to work on themselves. But when it comes to people like Roger that are using it as a crutch to act like everybody else is supposed to support them, that's not the way it works, Roger. Bipolar disorder affects 2.6% of American adults, according to the National Institute of Mental Health. So you're not part of a select group, Roger. There are a lot of people out there that are dealing with the same thing you're dealing with, and they are somehow taking care of themselves. What's your excuse?
And I am on medication to treat the bipolar now. Yeah. And instead of walling up in shame and trying to do this on my own, I'm just going to say it out loud and do this out loud, and ask for help because I need help.
You said a job wrong. You don't need help. You need a job. Say it with me. I just need a job. I'm glad you're on your meds, but you need to occupy yourself by getting a job.
Yeah. So I would love if you could check out my shop. And also, I don't know when you're going to get your stuff.
I already told you, Roger, none of us want to buy air from you. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to buy what literally amounts to nothing from you. If you're selling a product, but you don't have a product, you're not selling a product.
And I have a lot of love for all of y'all.
Us, the colonizers of the so-called United States, now you love us? I'm finding this hard to believe, Roger.
And a lot of appreciation for all of y'all. And y'all literally made it possible for me to get through this in the first place. Like, at least money-wise.
So you admit that people have been helping you out money-wise, but you're still asking for more money. Make it make sense, Roger.
The internet is an unkind place.
Oh, it sounds like the internet has been a very kind place for you.
So I'm probably not going to really be on very much.
And it's even more insulting that you expect people to send you money for a product that you don't even know when you're going to be able to deliver that product. And then you have the nerve to say, I'm not going to be on the internet. So you're not even going to keep your people entertained or offer any value through the app. People are just supposed to send you money just to send you money. Do you realize how lazy you are when you refuse to even be a content creator in exchange for your money?
I don't really want to deal with all of that stuff, but I could really use y'all's help. So I'm gonna go now, but I really appreciate you and thank you.
Okay, so here's the deal. This will more than likely be the last video I do on Roger because I think Roger is headed to a very bad place if he is, in fact, not just a grift. There's a part of me that thinks Roger is just trying to get money from people, but there's also a part of me that feels like whether or not he realizes it, he is sincerely spiraling. He has bought into the character that he's been playing for these last couple of years, and I think whether he realizes it or not, he is hitting rock bottom. And a lot of times people associate hitting rock bottom with a person drinking too much or dealing with certain substances. I don't think that's what it is with Roger at all. I think he really just became addicted to that social justice warrior life and thinking that the world was going to take care of him because he had this picture of this utopia where he could be non-binary and BLM and a queer for Palestine, and somehow those movements would just continue to float him. And now he's turned 29. That's the deal with Roger, is I saw him put up a post where he said he was 29 now.
Today is my 29th birthday.
And a lot of the people that were part of those movements have started to grow up and have realized that, yeah, they may have been passionate about those things at the time, and some of them they may be passionate about now, but protesting and expecting the world to turn into this utopia of communism or socialism or whatever it is you think supposed to happen politically with this country, it's not what it's going to be. So a lot of the people that were really supporting you and your homies at the time have now moved on, and they're getting jobs, and in some cases having families and responsibilities, and you're kind of the last one left. Basically, you're a Peter Pan is what it is at this point. You refuse to grow up, and there really is no Never Neverland. So I really do wish you well, and I'm not saying that sarcastically. I really do hope that you do turn it around. But as far as the way you've been taking this, I don't think that this is going to work out in your favor, and I don't see you having any other big paydays coming from social media, because people are onto you now. People are tired of that. People don't want to just continue to support a person that's not going to support themselves. Like, I look at it almost like push starting a car. I don't know if anybody remembers push starting cars, but when you would have problems back in the day with cars that were stick shift, you would push it and then the person would be sitting in the driver's seat and they pop the car into gear and then the car would take off. Well, if you're that car and you never take off, at some point people have to give up on you. At some point, your friends still have things that they have to do. They can't just continue to push this car that's never going to start. It's pointless. At a point, you're just expending energy to help this thing that clearly doesn't want to help itself. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, but that's what I think about Roger.
They bought into his bullshit.